Sports Talk. Let's go. What's up? Good evening, everyone. It's me, your boy Ryan Flowers, aka Clutch Sports Talk, in the house for a Monday episode, your latest episode of Clutch Sports Talk Live, man. Got lots to unpack. Hope you guys are doing well. We got the Monday Night Football game getting ready to go on in about, 15, 20 minutes. So my show will kind of overlap that, but hold tight. Hang in there with me. We'll get through this show and get you guys ready for Monday Night Football action between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. So, hey, got lots to talk about. NFL first Sunday looking pretty good. A lot of teams, a lot of upsets, I would say, and some things to look out for. Hey, but without further ado, sit back and relax and enjoy the show. This is Clutch Sports Talk Live with me, Ryan Flowers. Let's go. Welcome back in. Hope you guys are doing all right. This is me, your boy Ryan Flowers, aka Clutch Sports Talk, with another edition. Man, let's just jump right into it, man. What can I say? NFL is back with a vengeance. I'm so glad with this. Like I said last night, or even yesterday morning on both of my shows yesterday, I'm so excited that football is back. It gives me a lot to talk about, as you can tell. I got a jam-packed, loaded show for you guys, so let's just get straight into it. So, but before I do, first things first, make sure if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, do so right now. If you're watching it on YouTube, hit up my other pages on social media, Instagram, Facebook, as you see it scrolling down there below. I appreciate all the support, man. It really helps me. It keeps me going. And make sure if you're in the room right now, if you're watching live, make sure you drop a comment. Tell me what's up. If you got any questions or comments, man, make sure you leave them all right there. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions or give you some insight. But hey, let's just get straight into it. So, like I said, first NFL Sunday kicked off yesterday, man. We had a lot of good games. That to me, it felt like it went by really, really fast. And before you know it, it's like, wow, the Sunday night game is here. And then boom, the Sunday night game is over. Luckily for me, I live on the West Coast. So, those games are over roughly like 8:39. I can still, get some good sleep. But anyway, lots of stuff to go over. I mean, from the morning games, we had the Sam Darnold versus the Jets, his old team versus his new team now. He took the win there. A couple of things I saw from Zach Wilson, he can make the throws. One thing I can say between Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold is that Zach Wilson definitely has a stronger arm than Sam Darnold. When I watch Sam Darnold, it's like I won't say a noodle arm. He has a slow release. Zach Wilson really gets the ball out there. But the only thing, my concern with Zach Wilson moving forward, can they protect him? He's a small dude. And it was a couple times in that game, if you watched, he got up slow. And I believe they lost one of their offensive tackles. Back then, he's out for a couple weeks. He just had arthroscopic surgery on his knee. So I don't know how it's going to look out for him. Another good game I want to talk about, the Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers. They really capped off a really, really good win in a tough environment. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I've seen multiple games where the Cowboys go into FedEx Field. That's a tough environment to play, and it was hot. They're a West Coast team traveling to an Eastern time zone. Justin Herbert made some really, really big plays to Keenan Allen to cap off that game, especially on third and long. What else came to mind? Arizona Cardinals. They go on the road. And I said this yesterday morning. This was a game that they needed to win to let everyone know that, hey, we're serious. Now, are the Tennessee Titans going to regress? Perhaps. I still think they'll make the playoffs because of their division, but they're considered a playoff team, right? And Arizona Cardinals went on the road and just whooped on the Titans. The score does not really explain what really happened in that game. Chandler Jones went off. He had 5 sacks. He had 3 sacks in the first quarter. He beat the brakes off of Tyler Lewan, the Titans' best lineman there, and he even admitted it on social media. He actually thanked Chandler Jones. Kyler Murray doing Kyler Murray things. I'm pretty sure most of you have seen that clip where he's running around doing his thing, loosey-goosey, finds DeAndre Hopkins. He had a phenomenal game. What else happened yesterday? The Miami Dolphins, they are what I thought they were. They're a good, strong team. With a strong defense, with a good head coach. It's funny because those teams kind of mirror each other. They predicate each other off of playing strong defense, which, those Patriots teams back in the day, and even now, they play tough defense. It was a low-scoring game. I believe it was 17-16. Miami pulled off the win. Mac Jones got his first start. Didn't look too bad. Granted, it's his first start against a really, really tough team, a real defensive, strong team. Tua didn't play bad either, but again, guys like that, Mac Jones, Tua, they're going to have to start making bigger plays in order for their teams to win against great teams. You can get by playing average, mediocre teams with thinking and dunking, but when it comes to winning those big primetime games, you got to throw the ball down the football field, and they did. What else to talk about? We also had, oh God, the debacle in Jacksonville, which I'll get to here in just a minute with the Green Bay Packers, and I'll share my thoughts and as well as what happened. And I think I know what happened, and I'll explain that as well. And of course, the game of the day. I mean, the game of the day, we had the Cleveland Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know why I drew a blank there. That was a great game. That was probably an AFC Conference Championship matchup preview again. They're gonna play each other again. I can see that, and the Browns are definitely our legit team. And anyone else that thinks so, you don't think they're legit. They're legit. Now Baker didn't come up big in the end, but that's why Patrick Mahomes is getting paid the amount of money he is. The stuff that he does on the field is phenomenal. But yeah, lots of stuff to get into. But like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Did I miss a game? Something that stood out to you? I'm probably sure I did, but there's so much that happened yesterday. And shout out to the Bengals, actually. Joe Burrow bouncing back from his injury, playing a good game. Jamar Chase actually catching some footballs. Their line still sucks because he got sacked like 5 or 6 times, but we're going to see how he holds up in that division, in a brutal division in the AFC North. But anyway, transitioning over to teams that just laid an egg. Now, the Green Bay Packers played the New Orleans Saints in Jacksonville. And some of you may be wondering, well, why was that game in Jacksonville? So if you don't follow the news, Hurricane Ida ravaged through New Orleans area, and basically the Saints have been displaced along with so many families. Our thoughts and hearts and prayers go out to those families in the South down there dealing with Hurricane Ida and all those issues. So shout out to them. Prayers up for them. Hope you guys are doing all right. But anyway, back to football. So that game was moved over to Jacksonville. Now, I went on the air yesterday morning and said Green Bay should hand down win this game. I mean, running away. The Saints, they're replacing their Hall of Famer quarterback. They have some transition in their defense that they're working on. Michael Thomas isn't playing. Jameis Winston, we don't know what Jameis Winston we're going to get. And now he didn't throw. I think he only threw for 148 yards, but he didn't turn the ball over, and he had 5 touchdowns. It was very evident that Aaron Rodgers at some point in that game just didn't want to be there. And this is what I think happened. So much has been talked about Aaron Rodgers and his expressions and feelings towards the Green Bay Packer management. And I think this is starting to consume this team. And I think 2 things happened. Number one, he doesn't want to be there. He's a lamed up quarterback. Okay. He even went on an interview that aired yesterday on Fox NFL with Aaron Andrews, basically, again, bashing and thrashing, the management for the Green Bay Packers and how he really doesn't feel like he needs to be there because they already drafted his replacement and blah, 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 blah. Okay. The second part, I think, is some of the teammates probably are like, dude, we don't really care for you to be here, honestly, because look, some of us have to stay here. Some of us have to remain here, and you're not even all in there. So guess what? What it is. I mean, like, we're not going to fight hard for you. Shout out Matt Spates. Haven't seen you in a while, man. Who that? Black and gold. All right. Good looking. But Green Bay, it's like, dude, like, Aaron Rodgers is partly to blame, of course, and the Green Bay management is part to blame because it's 50-50. He doesn't want to be there. Should he live up to the contract? Okay, you signed it. But we've seen this so many times in professional sports. Players, they get tired of a certain situation. They want out. And they're very adamant in not being there. You have to move this guy. Now, maybe them getting their butts whipped so bad. I don't think Green Bay is a bad team. That's why it was so surprising. They literally only scored 3. They didn't even score a touchdown. Them and the Falcons, I believe, did not score a touchdown this weekend. And you can say, if I would have told you Aaron Rodgers would not have scored a touchdown this weekend, the reigning MVP, you would have been like, you crazy, bro. Get out of here. Well, he didn't. And shout out to the Saints. They were ready. They were ready to go. They were definitely ready to go. They had their game plan in action, and Jameis Winston took care of the football. They ran the ball effectively. Didn't look like they missed Michael Thomas, but down the road, are they going to be a contender? I don't know. I don't know yet about them still, because I don't think we got to see the real Green Bay Packers. And I'm not really trying to downplay their performance, because it sucked. They completely sucked. And Aaron Rodgers sucked as well, too. And maybe he'll bounce back. But it's not a good look for him. And I think they should have just moved on from him from the get-go. When he came out and said, I'm not coming back next year, what's the point of keeping him there? Because he's made it known that he doesn't want to be there. You might as well trade him. You would have got a lot for this guy. Trust me. teams like the Miami Dolphins, hell, probably the Minnesota Vikings, maybe the team here in my town, Las Vegas Raiders, they would have been like, we might kick the tires on that. Denver Broncos are in need of a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. Teams would have given up a lot of draft picks, collateral for this guy, and they didn't. And so what happens is now teams are like, well, they might be in the market still, but they're willing to probably hold off a little bit because of, guess what? He's done anyway. He's not going to be a Packer anymore. So I'm not gonna over super react yet, but they need to bounce back. Now they got the Lions next week Sunday, I believe. That should be a win. Now the Lions did show some fight in the end after basically they gave up. They were down 28 points. They made it close. A lot of bettors got a bad beat on that one because they didn't cover. I'm glad I didn't bet that game. But it just is what it is. And my boy Bryson from the Carving Up podcast, he says, while Aaron was dancing with Shailene in Hawaii, Dak was grinding in rehab, Brady was pushing teammates in the offseason, and Russ was working with Jordan's trainer, Tim Grover. Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? It's funny. Russell Wilson almost had a similar situation with Aaron Rodgers where he was disgruntled. And the Seattle Seahawks, they kind of took care of him. They signed some key pieces, especially on the offensive line. And then, they gave Russell Wilson what he wanted. And that's exactly what happened. So, it just is what it is at this point. And they were able to resolve it. And so moving forward, the Seattle Seahawks now are happy. It's almost like Russell Wilson never put out a list of teams that he wanted to be traded to. And that's what's so crazy about it. But they got through it, and now it's all about football. And as you can see, they were focused as they beat down the Indianapolis Colts. So I don't know what's going to happen in Lambeau, but they need to figure that out soon, because if not, it's going to get ugly quick. It's going to get ugly quickly. So we'll have to see. But anyway, moving on, staying in the NFC North, Chicago Bears played the Rams last night. Everyone is like, oh my God, Matthew Stafford is like, he's just, like, they're the reason. He's going to be the reason why the Rams pump the brakes just a little bit. Rams look good, but you played the Bears with Andy Dalton. Most teams are going to look good against Andy Dalton. I'm not saying Andy Dalton's completely trash, but I will say he's not going to push the ball down the field. He's not going to make big plays. And this is why I feel like Justin Fields needs to start now. And there are a lot of people that, a lot of analysts are like, no, he needs to sit back and wait and Nah, we've seen it too. I mean, look, we got 3 rookies starting yesterday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, who else started yesterday? Trevor Lawrence. Now, he didn't, those guys didn't win, but they were out there. And the Bears are a lot better suited than the Jags, than the Jets, and, well, maybe not so much the Patriots, but they might be on par with the Patriots, right? As far as defenses and maybe offensive, personnel. Why doesn't Justin Fields just start? And then you put him in, right? And then he scores a touchdown. And you can see that sideline for the Bears just light up, right? Matt Nagy, you're probably not going to beat her anyway. Why keep holding on to playing Andy Dalton? Play the more dynamic player. We've seen that now in the NFL. Guys that can run or that are really mobile, they put a lot of stress on the defense. I'm not saying he would have been running around throwing for 350 yards yesterday against the Rams, because they're good, right? They're good. But there were some instances where I'm watching the game and I'm like, well, play breaks down. Andy Dalton can't run, so he gets sacked or throws the ball away. In most of those cases, I'm thinking Justin Fields can probably extend the play with his legs a little bit, get them to start moving around, right? I get it. You're playing Aaron Donald, right? And he's a force of nature, but he's going to have to play in the NFL certainly at some point. But a lot of people disagree with me, and they think that, he needs to just continue to, to sit back and learn behind Andy Dalton. You're not going to learn too much other than to check down and eat it on, a play that breaks down. That's all you're going to learn. And, for whatever it's worth, the Bears weren't that bad offensive. They moved the ball, a little bit. They ran the ball with Montgomery. I think he had like 81 yards. Allen Robinson was targeted a couple times. It's not like they completely suck. The Rams just overpowered them. Why? Because the Rams at one point just have more playmakers on the field. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, having more playmakers on the field. And, Justin Fields is definitely more of a playmaker than Andy Dalton. It's as simple as that. Let me know if you disagree with me or not. We can go at it. That's fine. I respect everyone's opinions, but I'm watching football quite a lot. You got to put your best players out there. And to me, Justin Fields in this day and era, of the football and National Football League, you got to have dynamic players out there, guys that can do some things, put some stress on defense. Trust me, I'm pretty sure when they were game planning for this game, the Rams were not stressing over Andy Dalton. And I know I got a sample serving of Andy Dalton as a backup with the Cowboys last season. It's not phenomenal. He's not going to do a lot, right? He's not going to do a lot, and even the Cowboys, had a really good wide receiving core. He's just not the guy. He's a good backup. He's a spare tire. You're not going to be rolling around the streets with a spare tire. You put it on there until you can get to your local tire dealer and you get your rims ready to go and your tires ready to go. That's all Andy Dalton is at this point in his career. But got another comment from Matt Spates. He's a Saints fan and was not suspecting us to block Green Bay like we did. Winston definitely proved me wrong. Yeah. I was big on Winston. I thought, he should have got the job, and he did. He won the job. He's a quarterback in the National Football League. The guy can throw it, but in the system that he played in prior in Bruce Arians' system, risk it or whatever, biscuit or risk it, whatever the hell he wants to call it. He's basically saying just throw the ball. But culture change. You got a better coach, and it's a better system for him. And I guess he got some LASIK surgery done, so he should be good to go. All right, moving along, man. For you guys that are in the stock market, we got some early buy or sell. Early buy or sell in regards to some teams here early in the NFL season. I know it's week 1, and a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, this team's going all the way now," or "This team's going to be better." And I don't have enough time to get through all the teams, so I picked a few. And Steven Bijou, what's up, bro? Yeah, I'm going to answer that question in regards to the Dallas Cowboys. Are they back? I'll give me a second here on that one, bro. I'll get to that. But here's the first edition of the early season buy or sell. First team out the gate is the Arizona Cardinals. I like the Arizona Cardinals. I like exactly what they did. They're in a tough division. Everyone knows they're in a tough division. There's no secret about that, right? This division easily they're going to have 4 teams in the playoffs. And I would be surprised if they didn't. Now, if they were like in the NFC North, they would be one of the top teams. And what they did yesterday to the Tennessee Titans is going on the road, and doing what they did to them. I mean, at one point, Derrick Henry only had 9 yards rushing, and it was like the second half. Okay. Not a lot of teams do that to him. You got Chandler Jones. JJ Watt looked pretty good. I don't think he had any sacks, but he had a lot of pressures. I think he had like 22 pressures yesterday. Some ridiculous amount, right? Isaiah Simmons, the second year player out of Clemson, who they drafted last year, he looked really good. And they let Patrick Peterson go. He's in Minnesota. He was an older player. Kyler Murray is a stud. I mean, they did the right thing moving off of Josh Rosen, and the guy's a stud. They added D-Hop. I don't know if AJ Green even played or did anything meaningful yesterday, but you got DeAndre Hopkins, if not one of the best receivers in the National Football League. So I'm definitely buying stock on the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not saying they're winning the Super Bowl, but I'm buying right now because the stock is probably pretty low right now for them. A lot of people are sleeping on them, so I'm buying now. I might sell later, but stay tuned and we'll find out about that. I am selling on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And people are like, well, they won yesterday. Yes, they won, and they came back from a 10-point deficit, if I'm not mistaken. But to me, in the long run, they're just not, outside of their front 7. They're not a really well-constructed team. I mean, who is their biggest playmaker right now on offense? Probably Chase Claypool. You can't count on Juju. He's busy doing crate challenges and TikToks. Ben Roethlisberger was very pedestrian-like yesterday. Excuse me one second. Yeah, he was very pedestrian. He did not look like, oh yeah, I really need to put my stock into this team. If anything, it was a bad loss for the Buffalo Bills, and they got a tough one this weekend. They're playing the Miami Dolphins. They can easily go 0-2. And not only are they playing the Dolphins, they're playing the Dolphins in Miami. It's going to be humid. You got a northeastern team traveling all the way down to South Florida during the summer. It's going to be hot. It's going to be muggy. It's going to be sticky. And they could easily go to 0-2, with Josh Allen, who's supposed to be the MVP. But back to the Steelers, they did not address their offensive line issues. Najee Harris still couldn't really get off. They can't run the ball. And like I said, it all falls on Ben Roethlisberger. He's not the dude anymore. I honestly think he needs to hang him up like now, today. And the Steelers should have done a better job in the offseason trying to, to fill that spot or, bolster that backup quarterback. Cam Newton's still out there. I was an advocate last season, going into last season, for Cam Newton to even go to the Steelers because of what he can bring to that offense. I think he makes that offense a little bit better, backed with that defense. But hey, he's still out there. We'll have to wait and see. Team I'm buying stock on is definitely the Cleveland Browns. They are legit this year. They are definitely legit, even in a loss. Even in a loss, they went toe to toe at home in Arrowhead with the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. They could have easily pulled out that win. Some mistakes down the stretch, which they'll learn from. Kevin Stefanski is doing a great job. Baker Mayfield needs to do better at the end of the game. One thing I will say about Baker Mayfield, he wants to get paid, but what we're noticing is that the play action really is what makes him really, really good. And that's fine. And that's good. But there were some throws down. He just doesn't have the arm talent, I don't think, to get some of these throws where he needs to get it to. There was a play, I believe, with David Njoku. He just couldn't hit it. He tried to, but he can't. You don't have the arm strength, right? But they're definitely they're going to win the AFC North. I said that in my show about 2 weeks ago when I did the preview for the AFC North. They're going to win the AFC North. I don't think it's going to be the Ravens. We'll find out about the Ravens here shortly. I think that game just kicked off, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely buy stock on the Cleveland Browns now. I know probably a lot of people are. So, the shares are going up on them, but you want to get in on them now as soon as you can, because I feel like they're going to do something. Now, are they going to make a Super Bowl run? I don't know. But I feel like they're equipped to at least hang with the Chiefs, which we saw that yesterday. Why? Because they can run the football effectively and they can throw out of the play action, and they play really, 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 really good defense. And they're missing some guys. Grant Delpit didn't play yesterday. The kid that they drafted last year from LSU, he still didn't play. He was out. So buy stock on the Cleveland Browns. Trust me, you'll thank me in the morning. I'm selling on the Falcons. I am not dealing anything with the Falcons anymore. I thought they were going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles, but the Philadelphia Eagles came down and just thrashed them. I am not dealing anything with the Atlanta Falcons anymore. They do not exist to me. How do you only put up 3 points? You have Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, Matt Ryan probably isn't what he once was, but still, dude, it's like you only scored 3 points at home? At home? Are you freaking kidding me? So I don't know. It's pretty crazy to me that they just couldn't get anything done. I know their defense was terrible and it showed up again, but I at least thought this game should have been a back and forth game. I could see how Eagles could have won this game, which they did, but I thought it would have been a high scoring game, teams going back and forth, because traditionally that's what we've seen at the Atlanta Falcons. And Jalen Hurts, shout out to him. He did a great job. Nick Sirianni, looks like he did a pretty good job his first time out as a head coach. They looked like they had an identity. They looked like they had a plan, and they executed in that fashion. So, all right. So buy, sell, that's what I got. I'm probably doing that every week now, letting you guys know what's up. I might include some power rankings. I don't know about how I feel about that yet. But anyway, to one of my, what happened there? To one of my favorite topics of the evening is the clutch, not so much. So out the gates, man. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. What the hell were you guys doing? So that's a not so much for me. Like I talked about at the top of the show, they really just did not represent themselves very well for their city, for the state of Wisconsin, and just in general. And that was not a good look for Aaron Rodgers, really. I mean, he just did not do well. So that's a not so much for me. Coming in clutch, though, the New Orleans Saints, the Who Dat Nation, they rose up. And despite of all the things, I mean, like I said, they've been displaced. These guys can't even go home, So for them to go through all that, to not be at home, to be on the road training, getting ready for an NFL football game, and to come out and just beat the doors off the Green Bay Packers, kudos to them, because I did not see that happening, and I was wrong about them. I don't like them down the road, but I'm going to give them their flowers tonight and let them know that, hey, you guys did a great job. Coming in clutch, Justin Herbert, man, he did a legit job against a very, very elite defense, a very, very good pass rush. And another guy I wanted to put on this clip, I forgot to, was his left tackle, Rashaan Slater, who they drafted out of Northwestern. He's one of the top tackles in the football draft. He did a great job against Martez Sweat and the rest of the crew there on the defensive line for the Washington football team. But what really stood out for me with Justin Herbert is their ability at the end of the game to convert, passing third down situations. okay, where everyone in the stadium knows you're going to pass. Everyone knows you're going to pass, right? So they did a good job doing that. And I can't, what else can I say about that? And finally, the not so much University of Texas Longhorns. You guys are entering and I had Miami last week on my not so much because, like Miami and like Texas, every year it seems like, oh, this is the year. Texas is back. Texas is back. Miami is back. Blah, blah, blah. They go out and lose to Arkansas. Yeah. Arkansas is not even that good. Okay. And you want to play in the SEC in the next couple of years? Yeah, you can't even get past Arkansas. And not only did you lose to Arkansas, you got boat raced. Okay. So, Texas Longhorns football, I'm done with you guys. You guys are not so much. I'm done with it, guys. So, that's it for this week with the clutch and not so much. And here, right before I get out of here, here's the quick line. I think that game started already, if I'm not mistaken, between the Monday Night Football matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, that game is in the first quarter right now. Looks like the Raiders have the ball on the Baltimore Ravens 28-yard line. I had the Raiders winning this game, man. So if you put some money down on it, you're probably going to win some tonight. It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to go back and forth. But I like the Raiders. I like the Raiders. They're coming into this is like their real official home opener. That place is going to be jam packed. It is already. I can just tell. I got to drive that way later on this evening, so I'll get a chance to look at it and see what's going on. But yeah, it definitely looks like the Raiders are going to do their thing. So that's it. So that's all I got this season, man. I hope you guys did a good job. Oh, wait. That didn't even make sense. I hope you guys thought I did a good job. I was trying to get through the show so you guys can get to your Monday Night Football game. But hey, be on the lookout for my NFL Sunday morning shows that kick off live at 8 a.m. Oh, I forgot to answer one question. My bad, Steven. If you're still here, man. He asked, what was his question? Stephen Bijou, he says, do you think the Dallas Cowboys are going to come back? Yeah, I think the Cowboys are going to be back. I definitely think they're going to be back. I saw. I'm like I said, I'm not big into moral victories, but I did like what I saw the other day, last week Thursday. They got to get Zeke involved a little bit more. Now, I don't know what's going on with the status of Lyle Collins. He's supposed to be suspended 5 games. That's a big blow. But I like to see Zack Martin get back. I think that'll help us in the run game a little bit more. Dak cannot throw 58 times a game. The defense forced at least 3 turnovers, legitimate 3 turnovers. And can they keep that up? But we're still weak in the run game. We still cannot stop the run. Luckily for us, the Chargers don't run as much effectively per se like some other teams, but they got Justin Herbert. They got to get after him, and that's another thing. The defense for the Cowboys is still lacking. Is a legitimate pass rush. It's hot and cold. But do I think they'll win the division, so they'll get back in the playoffs? But their success lies solely on the shoulders of Dak Prescott. Simple as that. So, but anyway, that's my time. I got to get out of here. Like I said, make sure you guys catch me on my Sunday morning shows going live at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch it right here on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Make sure you guys hit the link in my Instagram bio to get access to all that. And make sure you hit me up after the last afternoon game round, 4:35 Pacific Standard Time, getting you guys ready for a Sunday night football game. I go live there as well with my Clutch Sports Talk NFL Prime Time. So that's a lot to take in. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, man. I hope to see you guys there again on Sunday morning. Get your coffee, get your donuts, do what you got to do. But I'm out. This is Clutch Sports Talk Live with me, Ryan Flowers. Never settle till the work is done. Peace out, guys.